give khataras at ICOI. Inshallah, Sheikh Mustafa's guidance is going to be very invaluable. And we're going to also have some like training. We want this to be like a chance to give khataras here before going, inshallah, on Saturday after Isha. So that's the main purpose, inshallah. Anything you want to say, Sheikh Mustafa? So we'll see. We would like this to be an evolving session. So by the end of the session, we want to have feedback how we can make it better, inshallah, and we'll improve what session after that.
Feedback goes to you.
Okay. Yeah.
Alright, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah wa ba'd. Alright, so first of all, welcome to this very short program of the Khatara Training Seminar. Who knows what a Khatara is really? What is a Khatara, Hamza?
It's like a shortened version of a khutbah, trying to just one lesson, one moral.
Okay, very good. A shortened version of a khutbah trying to address one moral
Issue,
one issue, 1 point, or something like that.
Or two short ones.
At ICOI, some khatiras are longer than that. So it's not always the shortened version, but yes, technically yes.
It's used as a reflection or a thought, something to as a reminder or a reflection, but the linguistic meaning is more of like something you're thinking about or. Yeah.
Very good. So khatara al bal means that something that came to your mind,
Yeah.
and you're sharing something that came to your mind.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a good thing for our purposes, but it's also a bad thing.
Yeah.
The good thing for our purposes is it means it's like a thought. A thought means it's short. It's not a khutbah. Alright? So it's supposed to be short. The problem with the idea of something that comes to your mind usually means that it has not been prepared and planned very well. And the first and most important point I want to talk about is if you're going to be giving a lecture, if you're going to be giving a speech, even if it's a 1-minute speech, but you have 100 people listening to you, 200 people listening to you, even if you have 10 people listening to you, you have to respect the fact that they're giving you their attention. And how do you, the first way and the most important way to respect them is by preparing well. Khatira should not be done by winging it at the last minute and you just say, I can get by, I'll be okay. No, this is not okay. It's not okay because giving a lecture where other people are going to listen to you is an amana. Amana is a trust. You have a responsibility. You have to make sure you're going to be fulfilling that responsibility. So with that, we're going to first start talking about intention. Intention is, alhamdulillah, I'm glad you're happy about that.
Just what I did about my khutbah about.
MashaAllah, okay. So that's your khatira was about intention, so mashallah. So this is your khatira to yourself. When you give a khatira, what should your intention be? What should your intention?
To possibly like remind someone of something which they may not have had much knowledge of, or they already had some knowledge of it, but you enhance it.
Okay, good.
Sadaqa jari.
Sadaqa jari, okay. Explain that.
Sure. So a khadra could also be meaning, it's a thought. Like you reminded yourself of something. So now you're intending to do good and pass on that beneficial knowledge. You're intending to benefit the community or those 10 people, 100 people, however many, whatever the numerics are. And if it could be something that somebody may have not known or may have forgotten, and you reminded them in their thought, and now they carry on that action because you took the time and they gave you the time. It's so they were, if they do a beneficial action, something that you taught them or reminded them, then inshallah you will benefit with the reward.
Inshallah, you'll benefit. So I like this concept. Not only will you benefit with the reward, but they will potentially carry it on, and you get more reward. Another thing that I really like what you mentioned, that you said something that comes to your mind and you benefited from. The most important thing is that when you're speaking, you have to be benefiting yourself. You shouldn't just be giving a reminder for other people and you're not trying to apply that or think how this is going to apply in your own life. That shows ikhlas, that shows sincerity. So one of the most important intentions is to be sincere when you're going to be giving khatir. Okay? What else? I saw another hand here.
Who's me?
Yeah, Hussein.
Just, I mean, the main focus is like you're trying to please Allah.
Okay.
Like that's the underlining. Obviously, you're trying to help the community, but
Yes.
by pleasing Allah, you know, you're helping your community.
But how are we pleasing Allah by giving khutbah?
Something to remind him, something to help remind us and yourself and the people about whether it's Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, some foundation of the Deen, remembrance of Allah Himself. You know, remember me, I will remember
You're
you.
reminding
So that
people
kind
of
of-
Allah. Very
Yeah.
good. Okay. Alhamdulillah. Excellent.
I was gonna say the same thing as brother.
Okay. Good. Good. Alhamdulillah. These are all good points. You want to add something?
Well, I just say the same thing with the hadith of the Prophet. بلغوا عني ولو آية convey on my behalf, even if it's one verse. So you fulfill the command of the Prophet ﷺ and of course the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Good. Alhamdulillah. Okay.
I wanted to add something. I feel like everybody touched on it, but it's like you're preparing for your akhirah. And I remember the hadith. I don't know the specific wording of it, but it was when Bani Adam dies, his leaves are cut off except for three, and one of them is صدقة جارية or علم ينتفع به. And so that is a knowledge that is benefited from by someone, and they carry it on, or like they work by the knowledge that was transferred to them, and it keeps your reward. You keep getting rewarded even after you're dead.
Good.
So that, yeah.
Just kind of building on to what I get your name.
What was?
What was saying, the idea of Sadaqah Jariyah, I feel also because we're, for me at least, I'm not gonna speak on everyone else, but because we're a little bit younger than the majority of the audience in the congregation, I guess.
Talking about you.
I wish. I'm talking to everyone. Kind of giving them a different point of view to think about, as opposed to like, you know, I'm not gonna say normal things that we hear, but like the classic khatira stuff, kind of giving them another point of view to consider, just because, you know, we're kind of more dipping our toes more into the world, just to give them another idea of how we're approaching it.
So you're happy that you're lecturing elders.
No. Just providing just a different point of view, I
A
guess.
different point of view. Okay. Alhamdulillah. Look, so these are all good. Alhamdulillah. Okay. So, what intention should we not have?
Praise. To be praised.
To be
To
praised.
show off.
Just more.
Is it easy to get praise when you're giving a good khatira?
If you give a good khatira, yeah.
Even if you give a medium khatira.
Yeah.
Why is it easy to get praise?
Because especially majority of us because we're young.
One, because you're young. So anyone who's young and they give like a pretty decent khatira, they're going to naturally get praise. Why?
Because
Why young?
because it's not common for a young person to be giving khatira to old people.
It's not common to be in a position like this, especially in a masjid, because usually young people don't get an opportunity, or they just don't do it for whatever reason. So good. This is number one. Let me continue on this. Number two. What's the second reason why people will get praise if they give a pretty decent khatira?
Second reason, I'm not aware.
Anyone else? Second reason why it's easy to get praise.
Yeah, he said it.
Encouragement.
Okay, people will encourage. Okay, good. There's two. What's the third reason why it's easy to get praise? Especially giving khatira in a masjid. Why is it fairly easy to get praise?
I got you.
Yeah.
Because it shows that you have confidence and a skill, I guess, to publicly speak.
Okay. Versus giving it in a church or some other venue. Why in a masjid specifically are you likely to get more praise?
Because it's a religious center, and more kids, and it's more rare for the kids our age, especially in
You
America.
mentioned that part. So that part is correct. There's one more reason.
Has it ever standards?
Standards are extremely low. I'm sorry to say it. The standards are extremely low.
You're right.
In most masajid. People are not expecting very good khatiras. So if you give a medium one, your praise is going to be here. And then you start thinking, wow, I'm here. No, you're here because the standard was here. Okay?
I want to
That's the
add,
problem. Okay, you wanna add something, Jab?
It's not just praise that we should not have the intention of. It's also not to have the intention of like getting money or getting free stuff from the cafe. That's kind of what happened, you know. A lot of people were like,
Someone gave you some free stuff after your fatira?
cookies. Not that same day, but like the later days. Like
Okay,
Monday, like, ice cream twice. I screamed twice that day.
Alright, so yes, so we should not have the motive to have praise. We should not have the motive to make money, alright, off the fatira. What's another motive that we should not have?
I have a question different, so.
We'll come back to you. What's another
To
motive?
seek attention.
To seek attention. This is one of the most difficult ones, right? It's one of the most difficult ones because it gets to you in your heart. The praise is part of it, and wanting the attention and people looking at you and all of that stuff. It's one of the most difficult things that people who give a pretty good lecture struggle with. And the problem is, even if you can give a pretty decent lecture, you're automatically bumped up with inflation due to the low quality. And now the desire, the temptation is gonna be higher than it would normally be anywhere else you're gonna be. Alright, so we gotta be very cautious about this, okay? Alright, so take a question and then we're gonna jump into a quick activity. Go, Hamza.
So, in the situation where, let's say I give a khutbah, and then, you know, inshallah, it consistently happens, and there's consistently, you know, people are saying, mashallah, good job, very good, and all that stuff. How can you sort of tell yourself to not make this, because you can start off with one intention, but it can easily start to shift later.
Absolutely.
So how can you
And
keep
you
it?
could also do the opposite, so you can always shift the intention back. Some of the things you should do to protect yourself. Number one is you can talk to yourself, or you can say out loud. Say, when people say, wow, amazing, mashallah, you're this, you're that, you're that, you can say something along the lines of, you know what, may Allah make that true, or may Allah make me like that, you know. Or you could say, if you feel that it's really going overboard, you can say, you know what, there's so many things you don't know about me in my private life, you know, I hope that this can compensate for that. You can sometimes bring yourself down, and sometimes you can just say, you know, I appreciate your feedback and this and that, and try and cut it short. What you don't want to do is be like, yeah, you know, not only am I a good public speaker, but I was actually fasting today, man. I was fasting and I gave sadaqah right before this. Put yourself up higher. You don't want to do that, right? So you want to either try to limit the amount of praise that you're going to hear, or you could put yourself down slightly out of humility, or if not in public, if not to the person, you say it to yourself in your mind. Okay, so that is some of the ways you can do that, inshallah. But there's an important part of encouragement too. So encouragement does help. So you don't want to be criticizing yourself so much that you become self-critical, okay? Alright, so for that, we'll do that for now. We'll do one quick activity today and then we'll break and we'll continue next week. The activity is going to be, every single one of you is going to prepare, right now, a 1 minute talk. 1 minute talk about any subject you want. And I'm going to pick one of you, you don't know which one it's going to be.
Oh.
And you're going to come up here and you're going to present.
Funny because I already have that plan.
It's gonna be 1
Like
minute.
2 minutes.
It don't, no, it cannot exceed 1 minute.
Oh.
It is a 1 minute talk. Bismillah.
Is that how long?
Get started. It's 1 minute.
How long are you giving us, Sheikh?
I'm giving you 2 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah, 2 minutes to prepare a 1 minute talk. Bismillah. And you don't know which one of you is gonna get called.
Are we allowed to use ChatGPT?
Yeah.
The topic's on anything?
Any topic that's Islamic, you know,
Islam.
yeah, you're given a khatir. Right.
Okay.
I don't want to consider this cheating, but can I use the previous one?
Use whatever you want. It's gotta be 1 minute, and you gotta practice it.
Could you give this to the
Easy.
I could get one of my friends to the bell.
That was my favorite.
I'm gonna do that, to be honest.
Ready?
It's not gonna be you, is it?
You're on.
I have a question. I can. I mean,
Now 30 seconds.
One minute time or 1 minute Egyptian time?
What's 1 minute Egyptian time?
30 minutes.
That's Iranian.
Okay, Bismillah, time's up. Alright. Guys ready?
Yes.
Person who's gonna go up for tonight, it's only one person.
God.
It's going to be
Rami. Rami.
Sheikh Mustafa Umar chooses, not you saying.
Really? Thank you for the
You're
reminder.
up.
I'm up.
You're up. Bismillah.
Okay. Do I here or do I do there?
Stand. You guys
Okay.
stand. Put the microphone on.
Really?
She's like me.
Oh, is it?
Life? Yeah, there's like 10,000 people.
No problem. You good?
Yeah,
Good?
You're good. Okay, ready?
Okay.
And then you're gonna hear the beat when it's done. Ready?
No problem.
3, 2, 1, go.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah, amma ba'd. So as Muslims, we all strive to be like Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the best way we can. We try to emulate him. One of the things I actually love about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was his sense of optimism, right? The sense that he saw all the things that were going to happen from now to the day of judgment, and yet he still had this optimism of us striving to do good. He tells us about the hadith Rasulullah said that even if you see the day of judgment coming, you have a seed planted, still do it. It's something that, and he also says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to follow up a bad deed with a good deed because it'll wipe it out. And now, you think about this is so practical because as human beings, we all fall into the category of sin. None of us are perfect, just like Chef was saying it earlier today, that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that every son of Adam sins, but the best of the sinners are those who repent. So you think about it, it's like we're gonna at some point in our lives fall and slip, but realizing that, you know what, even if we're gonna slip, we still follow up with a good deed, because if you think about it, one of the tactics of shaitan is that you do a bad deed and you want to go do a good deed and he says, oh, look at you, you're such a hypocrite. If people knew what you did, don't do it. This is a tactic where we remind ourselves that, no, shaitan's time is up, our time is still available, we should utilize it as best we can. Is my time up?
Your time.
It's been up. Your time's been up.
Very good, mashallah. Alright, so what we're going to do real quick, we're going to give super quick feedback, positive feedback, and room for improvement feedback. Okay? Who would like to go first?
I go first.
So everyone give 1 and 1.
Okay,
Okay?
I'll
One
start.
positive feedback that you like, 1 room for improvement feedback. Say, do you want to start?
Yeah. Okay. Can I give multiple positive feedback?
No,
Two.
he said one.
You can do 2 positives, but 1 negative is
Okay.
max.
One.
You can give 2 negatives.
No, you don't have time.
Okay. So actually, I'll just do 1 and 1. So I like how. Alright. So I liked how you were. You spoke like with confidence. You were very. What's the word? You were confident.
Eloquent.
Eloquent.
Confident.
No, but you were very energetic too. Like
Energetic.
So, and then number 2, the negative feedback or the part you need to work on more, I feel like is I don't remember a single ayah or hadith being quoted, but like, cause like you did it in English, but like I feel like it would be better to quote the Arabic too. You know what I mean? That's it for my.
Good one.
Good. Who wants to go next? Amr, go ahead.
Alright, so positive feedback,
Let's
your
see.
body language is very good. I like your hand movements and looking at everybody.
I think we have to
And
stay.
room for improvement, there was a lot
It's
of
every
content
Wednesday
in
now.
that 1 minute and some change.
Okay.
But other than that, very good.
Alhamdulillah. So it's a little rushed, but a lot too much content being packed in, but it's still good. Alhamdulillah. All right, who wants to go next?
I'll go
Red.
next.
Yeah, bismillah.
So yeah, again, I think, mashallah, very good confidence, good, energetic, good pronunciation, good, vocal performance. I think the thing that I would like to, I think the one thing that, in terms of negative feedback or constructive feedback, is I think clarity is very important. So have a clear point and like trying to get to it as soon as possible. So I think because we're trying to fit in maybe too much, the clarity suffers a little bit, and maybe the point wasn't that clear.
Good time.
Yeah, I wanted to share. I appreciate everything you said, and I'm gonna like piggyback on everything they said. Also, I appreciate the body movement, like the body language. And one thing to improve on is, as Abada said, it was very rushed. So it was mostly introduction, and you didn't have the time to get to the point.
First of all, it's very good. I really enjoyed it. The one piece of feedback I would give is when you were, I know.
It's very good. It's not sufficient for positive. You have to identify specifically what was good about it.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, constructive feedback, but I guess the positive feedback I would give is, I like I forgot what I said. Yeah, sorry. Your body movement. It was actually very engaging. It made me actually not want to like get distracted. I actually want to like pay attention to you. That's something I really enjoyed, and the emphasis in your talk. The one bit of improvement I would say is when you talk about trying to copy the Prophet and his optimism, perhaps an example of like when all this, like something bad happened and how he showed optimism, kind of just relate back to the Prophet, that's the one sort of feedback I would give. I actually had a question in regards to, if that's all right. Are you allowed when you're giving khatras to stand up as opposed to sitting down?
Yes.
You are. In ICR?
In ICOI, you have to ask the organizer. Your father.
Okay, so one positive feedback, one straight to the point. Like
Actually, no, Rami is the organizer. Sorry. Go ahead. don't ask your father. He's the actual organizer of Khatra.
Yeah, he is.
Sorry, Jabir, go ahead.
Oh, I say you went straight to the point, like
You like that he went straight to the point?
Yeah, it's like
Good.
like you didn't like wait like a million hours.
Yeah.
For introduction.
He didn't introduce himself and say, "My name is Hussein. It's really nice to meet you guys, and I'm so happy to be here."
And one improvement, it needs to have a conclusion, like Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta.
I mean, the time was 1 minute.
I didn't have time for that.
Okay.
That's
That's 30 seconds right there, man.
Next. Alright, good.
Waiting.
Okay. I'm neither agreeing or disagreeing with your comments yet. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so mashallah, the khatra, the short khatra, for the minute, mashallah, very content packed. In that 1 minute, a lot was learned, mashallah, very good reminder. I would just say, next time you hear that beep, try to cut it short, inshallah. Oh yeah.
I heard it.
I actually didn't hear it.
You know? See,
That's one because
You were too engaged, it was too locked in.
Look at this, you know that.
Let's wait.
I was like,
Go ahead.
sorry.
So good positive on voice projection. Everybody, like you were audible, you were clear. Quite deep dive in the sense of the topic that you chose of optimism. That was a thought that you had, and mashallah, beautiful kafiyah. Is it because of what the ummah is collectively going through, of what's going on in Palestine now expanding, and you want us to stay optimistic as a whole within the community? If you don't mind me asking, was that kind of where your thought process was?
No, it was just more in general, being optimistic through everything.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And going back to the brother that mentioned, maybe quoting a hadith or giving a more clear example versus the one of planting the seed and even though it's the day of judgment, still planted for the sake of mercy and what have you. I'm paraphrasing.
Right.
Another good one might have been, if that was your thought process for Palestine, that's kind of where my thought process was when you were speaking about that, was maybe giving the direct example of Ghazwa Khandaq when Rasulullah struck the rock 3 times, and in the spark I see conquest of Sham, this spark, see the conquest of Iran and the
So add
oil
a
world.
story.
Yes,
Yeah.
like the
More
story
content.
narrative.
More content.
And then at that point, that's all the time we have, brothers and sisters. Thank you. And
Yeah. Alright, so good, inshallah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be going through actual points in the coming weeks. And what we wanna do is we wanna focus on so some of these things that you all mentioned about the importance of energy, the importance of body language, movement, confidence. Some of you need to work more on that. And some of you have that naturally, and you don't need to work on that. And then some of you need to work on the other points about this and that. And you're gonna see what you need to work on, and everyone is gonna be different, inshallah. So we're gonna be going through maybe 1 or 2 points every week about things to improve, how to make your speech a little bit better. And we're gonna be actually practicing that and see if you incorporated that, if you implemented it in your speech, inshallah. Okay? We're gonna leave it at that because we're not supposed to be going very long.
No questions?
Inshallah. Quick questions, yeah, go ahead.
What was your feedback
My feedback,
about the khatira?
I'll let you know next week.
So my question, okay, so one for Brother Rami, one for Sheikh Mustafa.
Okay.
I'll start with Sheikh Mustafa. So is tafsir class gonna change next week? Our
Hope not.
tafsir class?
No.
No. For Brother Rami, can you please make a WhatsApp group and for this
I was actually going to ask for this. So basically, I think we're gonna create a WhatsApp group, and in the WhatsApp group, maybe like starting next session, we're gonna ask people to put their khatiras there.
Yes.
It is from now. We're giving a disclaimer. Sheikh Mustafa is not gonna listen to all of them.
Oh no.
He might listen to some of them, but the most important thing is like today, we give each other feedback. So each other give each other feedback, and from what's going on in the group. I will also put Brother Amr, because he's with me in choosing the people who do khatira. We're gonna basically nominate who should basically give khatiras for the Saturday, inshallah. So that's.
Wait, I have a question. Wait, for Saturday khatiras, are the people who give khatiras, are they gonna be outside of this group, or do they have to be in this group together?
No, and for the Saturday khatira, only this group.
Okay.
I mean, the khatira, it was a test in the previous weeks. But the intention was to
So
create this.
now anyone who's not in this group will not be giving Saturday khatir.
That's all,
Exactly.
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
good to know. That's a great question.
I like that. So now I know who we can ask, who we can't.
Yes.
That's
So this group. Yes.
much more.
The Saturday khatira is dedicated to this group.
Okay,
Okay.
great. Alhamdulillah.
Just out of curiosity on the.
Oh, this one.
Saturday morning.
Really quick.
No, only
Really
you.
quick. Like 10, less than 10 seconds, inshallah. So going back, I know we're gonna touch more upon how to improve khatira and how to prepare, like as we were saying, may Allah make you like that, or may Allah make you better than as you're perceiving me, what have you. One thing was that just to be respectful to the community, as they did give you their time, if they ask you about a question for that subject matter, part of preparation is to have some answers prepared in case this person asks someone, you could get the question from the audience, or maybe is it better not to take questions?
No, we don't take questions.
So don't take questions.
No, no.
Okay, that answers that question.
Yeah.
Perfect.
On the form it had asked if your availability on weekdays or weekends, so the weekdays I'm assuming you don't have
Pastor,
that. The weekdays I'm assuming we don't do khatiras on weekdays, right?
I mean, we might ask if we need, if someone is not absent.
Okay.
Or we might need sometimes backups.
Yeah.
So this is a good group to be a backup, basically. Like Omar, for example, he was a backup for Sheikh Hassan Alwan on Monday.
MashaAllah. Is there something similar in place for Friday khutbahs?
Khutbahs is beyond my jurisdiction.
Who's
I
the-
have.
I just see. I think this is a.
Who's picking the khatibs?
No,
But the-
training.
I
In
mean,
terms of training.
The khatib training?
Yeah.
We did it in the past.
Oh,
You
is
can
there
watch, you can
again?
watch the video.
I don't think it was recorded. The first one was not
It
recorded.
wasn't recorded?
No.
The
We can have
the.
Abdul Khair, man.
When was
Actually,
that?
nothing gets
This was in
recorded. I swear.
2022.
I actually think the most.
22?
You had a public
2 years
speaking
ago.
one right after that, and
Yeah.
it covered most of the things we need in khutbah anyways.
It's recorded?
It's recorded.
Yeah, that one's recorded.
On ICY's.
How old do you have to be to give a khutbah?
I see.
You have to hit
I think the most valuable part
Also,
of
it's not
I think
18.
is the actual practice.
Islamically,
like the
you can't-
I know in
Toastmasters.
ICY it's not 18, right?
I know
We
that.
did Toastmasters. So for that one, we're probably not gonna study on that.
أنا شيخ مصطفى have to leave, but
Me too.
I think
Yeah.
for
Yeah, you already.
tomorrow.
He already got a beer.